Okay, I'm trying to not make my phone fall. Alrighty. Alright, this is part 3 of Renounce, Delta, Theta, Sigma. It says, candidate, I, do promise in the presence of the eternal spirit of truth, which, would technically be the Holy Spirit, but this is not what they're talking about, and these finite witnesses that I will never reveal in any manner whatsoever, which, again, the secrecy, for any purpose whatsoever, whatever, any of the secrets, keywords, secrets, passwords, signs, grips, and other confidences entrusted to my keeping as a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority now at the time of my inhabitation into the sisterhood, or that may hereafter from time and time be so entrusted, I do further solemnly promise that I will not that I will dedicate my life to the 9 cardinal virtues of the Delta Sigma Theta. This pledges upon my sacred word of honor. And then it says each candidate is given a white taper, right? And it literally says in Greek mythology, in ancient culture, white primarily symbolizes divinity, purity, sacred rituals, and the luminous presence of the Olympian gods. And then in witchcraft, it means that's a fly. And witchcraft, it means it's the concept of white magic or the white witch. It means center entirely on benevolent intentions, healing, and protection rather than harm. A witch is a witch, by the way, you guys. There's no white witches, there's no dark witches, there's no red witches. It's all witchcraft. It's just demons. Anyway. Alright. It says white taper and a holder to prevent burning as she leaves the induction table and returns to her position. After all candidates have repeated the pledge, the ceremony proceeds, and it says, oh, you guys. See, I actually normally write out the whole thing from each one of these videos, but this one was so bad that God literally told me not to read it, to not write it out. And hold on. Okay. Alright. So alright, it says each candidate blah 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 blah. It says Vice President, we are a sisterhood pledged to seek success, and we believe she has achieved success. Who has lived well, laughed well, loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and women, the love of little children. What does that have to do with anything? Who has accomplished her task? Have you guys noticed that a lot of these talk about completing task? The initiations is just doing everything they want, and then when they initiate you, they say you completed the task. Anyway, who has made the world better than she found it? Arguably, I would say nobody makes the world better. I mean, you do save souls, but at the end of the day, it's still a fallen world, Anyway, whether by an approved poppy, a perfect poem, or rescued soul. How are you rescuing souls if you're just committing it to the deity? Who has not lacked appreciation of Earth's beauty or failed to express it? That right there is just Aphrodite. Who else has a poppy? Okay, so Demeter is the Greek goddess of agriculture and is famously associated with poppies. Alright, let's go back.
What? I guess everybody is rude.
Whether by, so it says, whether by an improved poppy, a perfect poem, or rescued soul, who has not lacked appreciation of earth's beauty or failed to express it. Again, this is also worshiping the earth, which is also something that the Greeks did in the Greek mythology. Who has always looked for the best in others and given the best she had, whose life has been an inspiration, and whose memory is a benediction. It says, President, hear now the date of prayer, and then it says all sing prayer. President, we believe in a spiritual life, but we leave to the individual the selection of the medium for its outward manifestation. That's interesting. It says we leave. If this is supposed to be a Christian organization, why would it leave the individual the selection of the memes for an outward manifestation of their spiritual life? That doesn't even make sense. It says a fire mist and a planet, a crystal ball and a sail, a jellyfish and a saurian. Let's look at what that word means. Hold on. It's a lizard. It's also associated with Hercules. Alright. In caves where cavemen dwell, in a sense of law and beauty, in a face turned into the clod, from the clod. It literally just means like a part of earth. It says you might be thinking of the clod of earth given by the sea god Triton to the Argonaut hero Euphemus, which magically toward it's literally just more mythology. That's literally it is. It's just talking about more Greek mythology. Anyway, some of us call it longing, and others call it God. So, who are they talking about? They're just talking about Greek mythology, and they're bringing in more ideologies of Greek theology in this poem. It says, a haze on the far horizon, an infinite tender sky, the ripe rich tint of the cornfields, the wild goose sailing high, and all over the upland and lowlands, the charm of the goldenrod. Some of us call it autumn, and others call it God. Like the tides of a crescent sea beach, when the moon is new and thin, and to our hearts high yearnings come rolling and surging in, come from the mystic ocean whose rim no feet has trod. Some of us call it longing, others call it thought. God. This one sounds like it's about Apollo. And the mention of goldenrod, I'm gonna see who that's associated with. It's associated with Demeter and the god Plutus. Anyway, a picket frozen on duty, a mother starved from her brood. Socrates drinking the hemlock, and Jesus on the rood. A million too humble and nameless, the straight hard path trod. Some call it consecrations, others call it God. If you guys don't know who Socrates or I don't know how to say this man's name, but I'm pretty sure other people do. But he was an Athenian philosopher who is considered a founding father of Western philosophy. Thank you. It's PHILOSOPHY. Also, this is actually a poem written by William Herbert Carruth, It's called Each in His Own Tongue. Not Jesus. Anyway, this is literally just an ode to Greek goddess and goddesses, and it's saying that you basically call all these things God, but not actual God. Anyway, it says, President continuing, Soars in Delta Sigma Theta, I am about to administer the oath of allegiance to these initiates. I charge you to receive into your sisterhood freely, and with a feeling of loyalty and affection, may we stand and repeat the oath together. And then it says, all stand and repeat the Delta oath. Stand right. Oh, place right hand over the heart. It says Delta oath. I will strive to reach the highest educational, moral, and spiritual efficiency which I can possibly attain. I will never lower my aims for any temporary benefit that which might be gained. Why is everything rhyming? It's like not even fun. Anyway, I will endeavor to preserve my health, for however great one's mental and moral strength may be, physical weakness prevents the accomplishment of much that otherwise might be done. I will close my ears and seal my lips to slanderous gossip. I will close my ears. Okay, I will labor to ennoble the ideas and purify the atmosphere of the house. But how are you purifying it though? Like, what do you purify it with? You can't really, like, for example, if you listen to any of the podcasts where people talk about they were in sororities or fraternities, and that any time a person that was not in the sorority or fraternity and they had business, they would tell them to leave. So how can you really have anything other than the sorority or fraternity if you're in it? So what would you purify it from? They can only purify it with the deity, or they won't be happy. Anyway, I will always protest against the double standard of morals. That's an oxymoron. I will take an active interest in the welfare of my country, using my influence towards the enactment of laws for the protection of the unfortunate and weak, for the repeals of those depriving human beings of their privileges and rights. This is just making fun of what they're literally doing. This deity is literally depriving people of their privileges and rights and taking over people's purposes to use them for their own gain. I will never belittle any race and will try to persuade others to take the same just stand. I will not shrink from undertaking what seems wise and good because of handicaps or obstructions of any kind confront me. But I will not shrink from undertaking what seems wise and good because handicaps or obstacles. You can't. I don't. This is gonna sound funny, but anyway, but striving to preserve a calm mind with a courageous spirit, barring bitterness from my heart, I will strive all the more earnestly to reach my goal. I don't know about that, because the stuff I've heard about these people beating other people once they become into the chapter, into when they're actually a part of their sorority or fraternity. I mean, it's Delta in this case, but once the people are actually in there and they become people that can bring in alliance, they're not beating them because there's a sense of bitterness that I hear when people talk about how they were beaten by other people. Part of it is anger, and part of it is also bitterness sometimes because of what they went through. It's like, you're not gonna get through that because I went through worse, Like, people aren't like, it was hard for me, but no, they're gonna beat you too. I wouldn't say it's a courageous spirit. I think this is them trying to be like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you guys are so strong. You're so righteous or whatever because you allowed us to do all these things. So you've earned this position. You've earned this right. That's what it's really saying. President, will the swords come forward with the pens of our sorority? Before awarding the Pruins, let's look up Pruins. Who's out here saying Pruins? They don't even say that in the Bible. That is hilarious. It says lightly a typo for Poena, the spirit of punishment, or Pities, the pine nymph in Greek mythology. They're literally making fun of everybody in all of these. I'm not laughing because it's funny, but I'm laughing that it's literally attached to Greek mythology and they're just hiding it in the script. They're calling you people that they punish. Anyway, before awarding the Pruins, the president may make some extemporaneous I like that word. Extemporaneous remarks about the significance of the pen. Following this, each Sora who has a pen for a neck fight will step forward and place the pen on the new Sora. At the same time, she teaches the handshake. Infinites then sit as instructed. Soras resume their seats. President, these symbols are the outward manifestations of sorority life. The true meaning of sorority requires a personal commitment of inward dedication. And it says, chosen Sora, what does it mean, a sorority? What does it mean to you? Is it just a name? Oh my goodness, more poem. Anyway, what does it mean, a sorority? What does it mean to you? Is it just a name bringing local fame with perhaps a friend or two? What of our life in the world of Greeks? What have they gained through you? A lot, because they're using you. Anyway, deities. Anyway, have you won a smile, done a thing worthwhile, or wasted a year? Oh my lord, again, making fun of people. Done a thing worthwhile, or wasted a year or two. What does it mean, a sorority to the to the girl with a heart of gold? They know they're taking advantage of young people with a heart of gold. 'Tis to love and to serve, and high ideals preserve with a wealth of joy untold. It says tapers held by nymphites and sorors should be passed to the segment and arms to be extinguished. As you pass your candles, it says, President, as you cast your candles, remember our motto is intelligence of the torch of wisdom. Athena. Behold, the torch of wisdom. Also Athena indicates torch. It burns whenever the deltas are assembled and guides our footsteps as we work in the name of our sorority, our college-educated women holding the torch aloft. We seek to use our trained intellect towards the advancement of intellectual, social, and spiritual pursuits in the service of mankind by the power vested in that person. As the president of chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, I do now declare that you are not members of Delta Theta sorority with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. We are happy to greet you. I also want to talk about the power that they try to perceive that is power from the sorority. Like this guy was talking about how he was failing his school, but he knew his teacher was in his fraternity, so he told his teacher, he gave a distress signal to his teacher that was in his fraternity, and his teacher passed him. And then he knew his person that was over his school that he was failing, he got 2 extra credits to graduate when he wasn't supposed to graduate. That's not really helping you guys. That's actually keeping you in the same path, in the same circle for the same deity. So that's not really helping. The power that they say is power is not really power. The power of Christ is strong though. That will tell you things before it happens. It will tell you to go here, and it saves you from somewhere else. The world and the the light of, who is this person? Athena is not going to save you. It's not going to help you. It doesn't have any power. It's just using bodies for centuries to do the same stuff, which is just repeat its own history. All right. It says, we are happy to greet you. We congratulate you and extend the hand of welcome and worship in Delta Sigma Theta. Let us join hands and sing our national hymn. Soars sing Delta, with glowing hearts we praise thee. Rebuke that. For the strength thy love bestow, it does not. For the glowing grace of thy sisterhood and the power that from it flows. Again, that is not okay. This is what the Holy Spirit does. This deity does not do anything other than steal from you. It steals your peace, the purpose that you have. It's not going to help you. All right. Keeping us a strong endeavor in our souls to souls to rapture. Oh no. In our souls to rapture rise. Rebuke that. Please free your soul from this. This will send you straight to hell. And the deities will leave you there and never speak to you again. And then you'll wake up like, what happened? And the power that from it flows, keeping in us a strong endeavor in our souls to rapture raise. Delta lights the flame and ever warms our hurt, her bonds to praise. Rebuke her. Athena does nothing. Delta Sigma Theta, we renounce thee. Delta Sigma Theta, replace the loyalty devoted to truth. This is a lie, because it can't be the truth. A bond of our youth that keeps our hearts clean and pure to the end. Also not true, because again, the land of fornication. Also the Greek gods were the land of fornication. So many other worse things. The bright gleam of thy vision has lighted the world. Delta Sigma Theta, our own. Rebuke that. Delta are with lovely loyal hearts we gather to renew our vows of love in the forceful bond of devoted trust. The problem is the forceful part. The forceful bond. That's not good. As our womanhood moves on, strengthen in us old and young. As our ranks increase and go, Delta's ideals ever stronger. Glorious and triumphant power. Again, no power. President, it says chorus. President will declare chapter business closed and the chapter banquet for Deltas only may proceed. Adjournment. So again, renounce Delta Sigma Theta. Know that these deities, all they can do is harass you and say, hey, you should join my thing. And if you don't, that's all they can do. They have no power to touch you. They have no power and no legal right unless you say, unless you say these pledges. They have nothing they can do. Did I even tell you guys the history? I don't even think there's much to tell. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, but you guys, there's nothing these deities can do. Satan can walk up to your window and say, hey, I'm Satan, and he can't touch you. He can't talk to you. He could talk to you, but he can't touch you unless God gives him permission to do something to you, to grow for, like for example, with Job. When God gave Satan permission to test Job, but at the end of it, Job became a greater man because of the test that he went through with God. And that's how it works. But yes, are there things that happen that, people decide they want to do? Yes. Does God get the glory out of those things? Yeah, when you submit them to God and you forgive with God and talk to God about them. But these deities literally, they do nothing. They're just there. They have no real basis outside of where they come from. Like, think about the people that are in your hometown. Yes, people have their current deltas, their current Omegas, their current Zetas, but the power that they had only is with the people that are in these things. They don't. There's no real. There's no real anything. Like, they don't do anything. And even if they try to, God still gets the glory, and God still gets them in the general. Because if you're apart from God and you don't repent, you're not gonna be going to where you want to go. You're not going to heaven. So renounce Delta, renounce these sororities, these fraternities before God takes you, and it's too late. And it's not even too late. It's the fact that you've been warned and you choose to ignore the warning and laugh at warnings, and God just tells you over and over and over again, we just write it off. Like, don't write off what he's saying to you guys. If you see or think that God is trying to talk to you about renouncing these things so that you can do and have his glory be made manifested on earth through you, then take that warning, take that heed, and turn away from these sororities and fraternities and go to God. So God bless you, God keep you.